Thank you so much for your invitation, Daniel. To be honest, I am a little bit excited and also like scared because I've been listening your podcast for a long time, and I know a little bit what is the way that you usually run the podcast. One day I was thinking about that. I would like to be here with Daniel, but now I am here.
Thank you so much, Omar. And I have to be honest because you are the first interviewee, I think, since June. You're my
Mhm.
very first interviewee again. I am
Okay.
very nervous. I got a bit
Uh,
rusty in English. So this is my opportunity to get back on track.
Of course, for sure. I am so glad to be here with you, Daniel, and thank you for considering me in your podcast.
Please tell us a little bit about you and your English journey.
Okay, as you know, usually we study English at the university. Here I've been studying English for a long, long time, but I could say I never focus like nowadays in develop my English skills. Of course, at the university I study, but only for pass the last exam. I think I was like a good student. For the reason I study one day before and the next day approve the exam. Not with a high score, but only with the necessary. So was okay. But after when I start my first job, I noticed that is so important if you want to communicate with American people, I mean people from USA or Chinese people. So the only bridge among us is English. So I decided to study English. I pay a lot of money for these lessons. Of course, don't do that. I think it's not a good idea because sometimes, you know, you could see many publications in Facebook sometimes that said, okay, if you want to improve your English in only
Yeah.
6 months, that is the best place for you. I say, oh my gosh, that is a big deal. Okay, I will do it. So I paid, as I said, a lot of money for that. But sometimes it depends also about you. What is your goal in English? What do you want to do with your English? What is the reason that you are learning English? So in my case, I could say in only 6 months, it was difficult to speak like a native speaker. I decided to put something interesting in all Facebook pages because I understand that my English was the same after 6 months. So I said,
Yeah.
okay, guys, I am Omar from the most beautiful country in the world. I speak Spanish. And if you want, we could exchange English. I could teach you Spanish and you could teach me English. And many, many pages I put this description. And many people answer me, okay, Omar, I could help you. I would like to speak English with Spanish with you and also English. We could exchange or something like that. But one friend answered me first and say, okay, I will try with them in this page. They say, we are starting a page and we could join us. We have meetings by Messenger. I say, okay, maybe I could start. And I did, to be honest, I didn't feel comfortable or confident with my level because I could say only, hello, my name is Omar. I am from this country. My favorite food is this. My hobby is like that, you know, at the
Yeah.
beginning. And I couldn't understand when the people speak English. They many times they say, hello, I am here because I want to improve my English, but the English is so good. They speak also fluently. I say, what about my English? What about my English? My English is no good. I am and also here for improving my English. But yeah, I could say I've been learning English for more or less close to 2 years. And I feel confident with my English. Of course, I have many, many mistakes in my grammar, my pronunciation. I have an accent like Latin speaker, but I think it's part of the process.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely. So the website, the Facebook website that you mentioned, do you mean the Facebook group Masters of English? I assume, right?
yeah, exactly. That is the page, Master of English. Of course, there are other pages also in which you could improve English, like Kanguro English, Daily English Meetups, To be honest, I've been learning in these pages also in order to
Yeah.
join the meetings and speak. Because in my case, my idea is if you want to improve your English, you need to speak English every single day. So that is my idea. Of course, as I said, MAOFEN help me, support me. There are many people who support you. Doesn't matter if your English now is good. They can also correct your mistakes, and that is good because you are improving if you have mistakes.
Yeah, for sure. In this Facebook group, Masters of English, there are regular events or meetings which are made over Zoom, I think. And you are also a host of these meetings, right?
Yeah, as I said, I never thought that I will be like a host in one of the most important pages for learning English. But at the beginning, as I said, there were only 5 or 4 persons talking by messenger, like video calls, you know.
Yeah.
But nowadays we are more than 1,000 people, I guess, more or less. So we are a huge family nowadays. And yeah, we have every single day meetings. It depends of the time. I mean, for example, some hosts can run the meeting in the morning, of course, my country in the morning, and middle day in the night. It depends of the host, and also the topics depends of the host. But if you are free, for example, during the day, you could join us also on weekends. So we don't have excuses about the time.
Yeah, I see. And what about the hosts? Are there also English learners?
Of course, all of them. I think our big boss, teacher Gabriel, I think he is the real English teacher. But about the host, we are also learners, as is my case. We try to develop our English skills in order to teach another person about that. You know, for example, in my case, I am no English teacher. I am engineer, something totally different. I didn't study for teach something.
Yeah.
But I noticed that if you teach something, not only English, wherever you want in your life, you could improve fast or you could develop this skill fast. So, of course, as I said, my English now is the best in the world, like native speaker. But if I need to improve something, I teach this specific topic with my friends in order to improve my level.
Yeah, I like the idea to learn something by teaching others, right? So because a very beautiful process, I think. Together we can learn better, in my opinion. And
Of course.
and so do you remember your very first session in which you were the host? Can you remember it?
Yeah, that is so hilarious because, as I said, I used to attend only the meetings by learning in the break rooms, talking with friends, you know. But when Gabriel told me, okay, Omar, I think you are attending to the whole meeting during the week. Why you don't consider run a meeting? I said, sorry, Gabriel, I think my level now is the best, so I feel a little bit shy. Don't worry, Omar, don't worry. You could try, and also we could run together, and you could be like a co-host, but maybe you could consider a topic or prepare one topic that you like, and we could discuss about that. Prepare some questions, and you could run. I was so shy, scared about this, the first meeting, shaking. I said, okay, I will prepare one topic, the topic of childhood, because the people love remember something in their lives, you know, and childhood, I think, is one interesting topic. And say, okay, I will do it. And I prepare the questions. In my case, I like teach by games. The people who attend to my meeting, they know that I like teaching English in this way. By games, doing tongue twister. What do you think about this picture? We are going to play, of course, about the topic. The people don't suppose that they are learning English because they are playing, but they are learning about this topic and also learning English. So that is my case, that I like improve my English also and teach also. That is so funny. As I said, the topic was about childhood. I was a little bit fast. No, was like, okay, guys, today we are going to learn about that, as nowadays I am doing. But was so fast, a brief introduction about the topic, and after that, the breakout rooms. I think, and also I prepare one video, because when you prepare a video, you don't need to speak a lot of, you say, okay, guys, what do you think about the video? Please go ahead, or something like that. You could only listen and exchange ideas. Yeah, so
I see.
that was my case.
Yeah, nice. And so you break it down in different rooms, right? So it's not that all of the members are in one Zoom session at a time. How does it work?
Okay, at the beginning, for example, you have an introduction about the topic. Okay, for example, today we are going to learn about childhood. We do, like I like to do, as I said, ice break with games, activity, in order to the people feel confident and comfortable during the meeting. And after that, I said, okay, I prepared 7 questions. For me, 7 questions is enough. You have more or less 30 or 40 minutes to talk with 7 questions. And after that, we usually do the breakout rooms, and the people with 3 or 4 participants in each room, and the people start talking. You need to prepare interesting questions in order to the people feel confident and also comfortable with the question.
Yeah.
30 minutes is enough. And after that, in the last part, well, in my case, I like to share some memes about the topic, because the people love laughing about the topics. For example, when I was a child, nowadays what happened, something like that, nothing's the difference, what happened in the past and what is happening nowadays. So the people love see the memes, read the memes. And in the last part also I have fast questions, because some has this option. You could put, I don't know, for example, what do you think about that? Fast question, only yes or no. And the people choose and say, okay, the people agree with this or disagree with that. And so I think it's a good idea to finish in this case.
Okay,
so that
nice.
is the whole my session.
And I first thought that the role of a host is to be a teacher. Then I remember that Gabriel explained it to me that no, the goal is that everyone is his own teacher, right? And it's not at all that the host is supposed to be the teacher, because in MAOFEN they try to make the philosophy to teach others and like to help yourself also, right? Not to be dependent on a teacher, because we are our best teacher in a way. You know what I mean?
Exactly, and strongly agree with that. That is the most important, as you said, philosophy into MAOFEN. So sometimes there are, for example, days in which we don't have like host. So we follow our philosophy. The people could start the meeting, one of the members, and choose the topic that they like and start talking. Because as you said, the most important thing is that we could teach ourselves. And if there are someone that could help us, you're more than welcome. You could help us. And as I said in my case, if I have some ideas in my mind or some topics in my mind, I say, okay, I will talk about that. Because in order to improve my skills, because I need to practice more about this topic, about, I don't know, about this lesson. So it's like a win-to-win, I think is the word.
Win-win situation. Yeah.
So I win and also my friends win.
Yeah, that is nice. So are you still attending other sessions?
Yes, for example, I like the Tati meetings, Tati from Russia, Tati meetings, because we are, for example, like a club, reading club is called a meeting. And we usually are reading some interesting information, because in this way you feel, how can I say, engaged with the topic. And we usually do Fridays reading and some articles about interesting facts, like about animals, like about scientists, like about, I don't know, like about planets, something like that. And I noticed that if I read, I could learn also English. I could improve my English. So I like these meetings. And also, of course, when I am free, I try to join to another meetings. Of course, they are so amazing as well.
And what about the reading challenge, right? There was at a certain point some sort of a challenge in which you had to read one book in a month, I think.
Okay.
And I think you attended that challenge as well. And and you are a very aspiring reader, I think, because I saw your profile on Goodreads. I think it is called Goodreads. And you are reading a lot of books.
Yeah, I am trying to do my best. At the beginning, we choose a good book. If I could say, well, all the books are good, but for our level, I mean, for example, the book was called Miracle Morning, I guess. Was an interesting book with many tips for our lives. That is the topic that I like, by the way. Improve my personal skill, my mental health. So, and also the, how can I say, the structure was easy to understand for the people who are learning, or for the people who are the first time that are reading a book, English book, I mean. That was my case, because as I said, my first language is Spanish, and I will improve my English only two years, more or less. So start with an easy book, if I could say, was a big deal for me. I could say I feel confident with my English reading this book. I don't feel frustrated, because sometimes when you are reading, you don't understand one page and say, okay, maybe I will start tomorrow, and so on and so on. Yeah, that is a problem. But with this book, I feel comfortable, and also at the same time I feel like a happy, because we finished this book, and say, okay, what is the next book? Please give me the next book. I will start reading. But the next book sadly was a book with many new words for me, many new grammar structures. Was a little bit complicated. So in my case, I decided don't spend my time reading this book, because was a topic totally different. If you want to read something, you need to choose the correct topic that you like, and also if you feel better reading this book. So in my case, I didn't feel confident with this book.
I
so
see.
I decided don't continue reading, but I am reading the physical books. So as I said, the topic that I like, in order to improve my English skills.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, because in my opinion, it is crucial to read something that really that you really like. So in my case, I am reading detective stories right now.
Oh my gosh. So, yeah, I know about that, because also you were in this class. So yeah, I remember that.
So I have a lot of respect of you, because I mean, you are here, you have been learning for only 2 years.
Close to 2 years.
And you are hosting these English lessons or meetings. In my case, I am very scared. So I would never lead a group on my own, because I don't know, I'm too nervous for that. So I have
you could imagine in another language.
Yeah. How did it change over the time? Are you still nervous?
Every day, every meeting, I have this feel in my body, like, oh my gosh, maybe my pronunciation about this topic will be bad. I need to repeat again this pronunciation. I usually do something like that. I like to prepare the topic, and also I am trying to speak with myself before the meeting about this lesson and say, okay, Omar, you are going to talk about that. Try to learn the meaning of this vocabulary also. Sometimes that people ask me, okay, Omar, what is the meaning of that? Could you explain me? And sometimes, of course, like teacher, sometimes you don't know all the vocabulary. But if you prepare the topic, you could read about that and say, okay, the meaning of this word is this, you know? So you feel more confident about your topic. But if you don't know, you could say, okay, guys, what do you think about that? Or could you support me? Something like that, in order that you feel like a good environment, you know? Because as I said, we are learners, so we don't know all about English. Maybe there are people who know more about us, more about the topic, know more about this topic maybe, and also they could support us. So that is a good idea. In my case, as I said, every time that I run a meeting, I feel nervous, so nervous, to be honest. I say, okay, Omar, you can do it, you can do it, go ahead.
There is a certain expectation of you, right? So some members expect you to be the teacher, right? They ask you,
yes,
Omar, what does it mean? And Omar, could you explain to us?
Yes.
But I think it's a good thing for you, because when someone is nervous, then we learn even better, right? Because it means that it is important to us. So then in a certain way, it supports us to get even better.
Exactly. As I said before, that is the main reason that I am running the meeting. Improve my skills. I notice when you teach something, maybe a tiny thing, maybe a vocabulary, a grammar part, idioms, tongue twister also in my case, you listen some pronunciations and say, oh, okay, yeah, that is the best way, or that is the right way to say this word, and say, okay, yeah, I was wrong in my pronunciation. So I will repeat like this guy in order to improve my English. So I could say thank you for all the members who usually join to my meetings.
And what do you think, Omar? How can a participant make the best out of a lesson or a Skype meeting? No, a Zoom meeting.
I don't know. Sometimes, for example, in my case, I like the people join and try to feel like confident, like we are among friends. Don't feel shy. Sometimes, you know, you feel shy and you don't have the exactly words to express your feelings, your ideas. And that was my case. That is the reason that I know. So sometimes you don't feel confident, or sometimes the people could judge for your level and say, okay, no, it's the good right to say this word. And of course, you never will try to do again, maybe this word, or maybe in some cases, join to the meeting if there are people who judge you. So in my case, I try to create a good environment in order to they feel confident and they start talking, because there are people with different levels, English levels. So they could support each other. I noticed that they are so friendly, and also they know that it's difficult at the beginning, learn a new language, and say, okay, don't be afraid about your level. That is the best way to say this word, to pronounce this word, or something like that. They are so supportive with us.
Okay, thank you. And how can someone become a host? So are there any requirements?
Okay, that is a good question, but we don't have a requirements like that. You need to be only to have this energy to say, okay, I will run the meeting. I want to be the host. And of course, as I said, we could support you in order to you feel confident with the host. There are many hosts like me who start, as I said, feeling shy. In all fields, it's difficult when you are starting something.
Yeah, sure.
It's not like you are the master. And also if you are teacher, maybe because, and also if you are teacher, sometimes it's a little bit complicated. So, but the most important thing is that you have this decision to say, okay, I will run a meeting and I can do it.
Yeah.
Change your mind, and after that, you could do wherever you want.
Excellent. I like that very much, Omar. So, Omar, do you have a favorite expression or an idiom in English?
That is good question. Idiom like that, I could say, for example, as I said, I live in Ecuador, and it's close to the mountains, the place that I am living, and usually it's raining. And when the people ask me, hello, Omar, what is the weather in your country? I usually say, here is raining cats and dogs.
Yeah.
Cats and dogs. It's like it's a bad day. It's only raining. And I like to say this idiom. And about the word, maybe, if I could say, this word sometimes is a little bit complicated to pronounce, is comfortable. I used to say, I feel comfortable, something like that, you know. But I understand and I learn, of course, in this kind of meetings that the best way to say is comfortable, something like that. So yeah, these two things.
Yeah, and I remember I once attended a meeting. There was someone from, let me think, from where was it? From an Arabian country. I can't remember exactly where, but I was not used at all to the accent, right? So for me, it was really difficult to understand. But I think it's important also to pick up the different accents so that we can understand people from all over the world. Because in my opinion, there is no such thing to say this is pronounced exactly like that, right? There is no one rule, because even in England and in America and Ireland, they pronounce the words differently, right? So for me, this was really interesting to hear other ways of English, right, from other countries. And it took me some time to get used to it, but I liked it very much. But in the beginning, I couldn't understand. It's just we have to learn it first.
Yeah, that is good point that you said, Daniel. Of course, when you are learning English, sometimes, for example, in a classroom, you have the same teacher with the same accent, and of course, you could understand what they are saying, you know. So, but when you are in this kind of meetings, like MAOFEN, you meet with people from all over the world with different kind of accents, and you need to understand all of them. At the beginning, as you said, for me, it was so difficult when the people from Vietnam, Thailand start speaking. They have one kind of accent, and when the people from Algeria, Egypt start talking, they have also another kind of accent. I'm not saying that it's bad accent or something like that. I'm saying that we have different kind of accent around the world. And also Latin people also speak in one way. I could notice so fast when someone is from South America and say, okay, you are maybe from Argentina, or you are maybe from Colombia, or something like that. But that is so amazing because you could improve also your listening. You know, when you are in the real life, you will find or you will meet with people from all over the world with different kind of accent. So I could say I am preparing for that.
It's nice that you mentioned Argentina, right? Porque yo también hablo un poquito español, pero tengo el acento de Argentina un poquito. Porque yo estoy acostumbrado en el acento de Argentina.
Oh my gosh, your Spanish is so good, Daniel. And also your accent. I noticed that you are from Argentina.
No, I come from Switzerland, right?
Just kidding, just kidding. Yeah, your accent is very good. I don't know, but I noticed that the people from another countries, they like also the Spanish. Say, oh, you speak Spanish? That is amazing. Hola, amigo, or something like that. And say, oh, your Spanish is so good. And I feel so happy for that because they know us for our language.
Have you ever been to Europe?
To be honest, that was my principal goal. Before the pandemic, I started studying English in the pandemic, by the way. during the pandemic, because I can't travel to Spain, start studying my master and say, okay, maybe I feel so bad with the pandemic time, because my plans was travel to another country, studying my master degree,
Yeah.
and all my plans destroy, for the pandemic, and say, okay, I will start learning English. So nowadays I could say I am so happy for that, because that was the best decision. Thanks my
Yes.
God or galaxies or planets, I don't know, wherever you will live. So my plans is for the next year, if all is good as now, I could travel to continue with my dreams. Never is late. And I could say I am happy because I already learned a new language. Not like the best, but I could say I can understand. And I could continue with my goals. In the future, I want to visit many countries, but a specific place in Spain, Barcelona. If I could travel the next year, that will be so
Yeah.
amazing. I am working so hard for achieve this goal in my life.
That is really nice, and I wish you the best luck that it will be possible next year to move to Spain. I really wish you the best luck for that. Thank you very much for being on My Fluent podcast. It was really a pleasure to talk to you. And
thank you, Daniel, for having me. I really, really enjoyed this moment. And I like to give some suggestions to the person who are in the same process than me. I mean, learning English. Sometimes we don't feel confident with our level. Sometimes we don't have time. Sometimes we think that we don't have money for start learning English. But more of them are only excuses, like was my case. Say, okay, Omar, you don't have time. You don't have money. Your English no is good. But when you really want to do something in your life, not only learn English, you could do it. Only put a deadline and start doing. Of course, at the beginning will be difficult, but you need to do it step by step. So that is the most important thing. And thank you again, Daniel, for having me. That was a pleasure to be here with you. I am so excited for that. I like your podcast, by the way.
Thank you so much, Omar.
I am your fan.
And so for the listeners, of course, I will put the link on the show notes, so that if you want to join the Facebook group and be part of this engaged group, really motivated group, so you are invited to join the group.
Of course. Thank you so much.
This would be great, because as we talked about it today, there are a lot of sessions going on where you can practice your English, but also there are many other projects or events which we didn't talk about today. But I am sure I will talk about the Masters of English on another episode again.
Okay.
Yeah. Perfect. It was great, and you did very well.
Okay,
thank you so much.
It's my first time doing something like that. I didn't know how was it, but I hope that I could listen my voice in your podcast. I will be so proud of myself with my level, because as I said, now I can understand when people talk me, and the people can understand me when I talk. So that is, how can I say, a big deal for me. It's so amazing that I can communicate nowadays in another language different to Spanish. So I feel so happy with myself. So thank you, Daniel, again.
That is really nice. These are nice words to finish up with this episode.
Every week, one article about how improve your life, mental health, or something like that. And also, I just create an Instagram page. It is called No Wawa. And you could see many idioms, many information, vocabulary that sometimes I only share in my meetings, but I noticed that it's so important sharing another place with another person from all over the world, because maybe there are persons who want to learn something, and I have this information only in my computer. And I say, okay, Omar, create an Instagram page and try to post there. And I have many information, I'd say, interesting facts about animals, idioms, vocabulary, memes, of course, because I love memes.
Yeah, I love
So,
memes as well. It's a great way to learn and pick up some expressions in English, in my view.
uh-huh, uh-huh.
And yeah, I will
So that is,
definitely follow you. And yeah, this would be, by the way, another great topic to talk about. It's a great challenge, right? You mentioned before that you're writing an article every week.
uh-huh.
And I think this is so huge. This is so powerful to become a better English writer.
Yeah, me too, me too. I will be glad to be in another session with you, Daniel. As I said, one member of MAOFEN told me, question during the day or something like that. Usually the people post and say, what do you want to write or something like that. I say, sorry, I don't want to write because I feel afraid with my level, and say,
Mhm.
I had many answers and say, Omar, what do you want to start to write in something? I say, okay, I will start. I noticed that Medium is a good platform in which you could post your articles and also share with your friends into one Facebook page and also into this platform you could share. And every day, I think nowadays I have more than 13 articles.
Mhm.
And that is so amazing because, as I said, I am improving my English and also sharing my ideas with another person that maybe sometimes they need some advices about life and also about
Mhm.
English.
This is
So
amazing. But are there other members who are gonna correct you? I mean, the article, or
yes,
yes?
of course, that is the main reason. For example, I remember that Delgado, one member from MAOFEN, post, okay, Omar, you have a mistake in this part, and say, oh, so sorry for that, and say, no, don't say sorry, because that is the way that you write. Only try to correct this mistake, and say,
Mhm.
okay. And of course, for the next article, I didn't have this mistake. That is the reason that I post my articles into the Facebook page. Sometimes also they say, okay, Omar, maybe you could do or say in this way, maybe it's better. Could you use these elements in order to improve your writing? They give me some suggestions for my articles.
Yeah, I
And
see.
I continue because they inspire me to do again and again. I
Mhm.
like the feedback, especially. That is the main reason, because when you have some feedback, you feel more confident about that. And I will do again because I have a good or bad feedback in order to improve my English skills.
Yeah, absolutely. And I
Mhm.
think you are also very good in editing videos, right?
Yes, yes, I like to do that. As in Spanish we say, I am todólogo, the person who do many, many things.
Okay.
I like to, especially during the pandemic time, I discovered that I do many things or skills that I never think that I had. For
Mm-hmm.
example, writing, reading in English, start a new Instagram page. I like do also videos about idioms, but nowadays I am a little bit busy. That is the reason that I don't post videos about idioms, but I notice that people also love my videos.
And unfortunately, you don't have a podcast.
Yes, I am thinking, to be honest. No, just kidding, Daniel. But I don't know, who knows? Maybe in the future I could do something like that. I am so intrigued about the world of technology because, as I said, I study electronics and technology. And I noticed that nowadays it's normal if you have a video channel, if you have a podcast, if you have a
Mhm.
Instagram page. So I say, okay, Omar, why you don't do something like that? Of course, it's so complicated. I noticed during the process, but I have this experience in my life. Start writing, and the people say, okay, Omar, your articles are so amazing. Why you don't start a book? Do you consider that?
Yeah.
I am wondering if in the future read your first book and say, that is a good idea. I could
Yeah.
write something about that.
I feel
And
you.
of
I
course,
feel you. And then there are so many different ideas that that is not possible to follow every and each idea. That's a shame, but there is so many things that we could do.
Yes, of course, like make a book. So I am thinking about that. Maybe I will try to start writing a little bit, as I said at the beginning. Sometimes you need to do only the first step, and after that you could continue. But for sure, it's my dream have a book. I don't know what will be the topic. Of course, will be maybe about something like personal development, motivational, or something like that about my life. I don't know, but I need a book in my life. That is for sure.
Nice. This is really nice. Okay, Omar, it was a pleasure. Thank you so much, and see you.
See you, Daniel. Take care.